Go.
5, 9, 7,
6, 7,
9,
8.
9,
10.
10,
Think about that. You haven't seen each other's numbers. All I ask you to do is you've held the number in your head, and we have, just with a few exceptions, and it always works this way, whether I do it with 10 or in this case about 50 people. You get a 90 to 95% success rate. Near as damn it. The ace is there all the way there. You don't know anybody else's number in this room. You haven't seen it. You just know where you are in relation to everybody else. You know that level of confidence. Think about this.
This man here should be up there with the
He's far too
I have to tell you, there are a number of places he should be. And that's definitely another step. So here's the thing. Without any conscious thinking, this is a subconscious process. I've asked you to go through this exercise, and it's between 90 to 95% perfect that you're where you are. The reason I do this exercise with you, and I do this because this is a powerful exercise when you think about it. Because what it says is that just through the process of holding a number in your mind, your subconscious mind knows exactly how to be an ace, it knows how to be a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, 6. Your subconscious knows how to be all those numbers. It knows it. Because you've been throughout your life, since the moment you're born, you've been all those numbers at various times. You're just not conscious of it. Remember, 2 million bits of information, 50 to 80,000 thoughts. All this stuff has happened to you. So subconsciously, everything that you need to be whatever number you choose to be, whether you choose to be a 2, or whether you choose to be an 8, or you choose to be a 10, it's in you. It's incredible. And you could just be that number that you want for any situation. So let's say you're going for an interview. Let's say you're at the bar on a Friday night. Let's say you're like me at London Bridge on rush hour on a Monday morning, whatever, I'm going to a meeting. And there's hundreds of people there and I'm late rushing to get my train. I want to hold an 8, 9 or 10 in my mind and walk with poise and confidence. I'm going to get through that crowd a lot easier and a lot quicker. You can be whatever number you want to be. But also, it doesn't just stop there. This is such a vital tool. I teach this when I work with executives in all sorts of businesses. When I work with presentation skills, when I work with kids, it's a communication tool. It's vital, it's really important. Because imagine this. Imagine you're in a situation with somebody, and let's say you're having an argument with somebody or a debate. And that person, you can see that they are clearly a 10. They are clearly a 10. Does it make sense for you to face up to that person, for you to be a 10 also? No, it doesn't. Because have you ever seen 2 10s together? Think about it. 2 10s don't work. What you do, it's a game of one-upmanship. You're just raising the bar, you're raising your voices. 9 times out of 10, I'm generalising, but it's a communication tool. So what I'm saying is, when you're working with somebody, in terms of relationship building, if you can just kind of just pause for a minute, just pause, and this is brilliant to work with anybody, and you just think, what number do I think they are? And then think, what number do I need to be myself to get the best out of this relationship? See, because if you're a 10, there's no point being a 10. Unless you want to fight, or you want it to go on forever. If you want that, be a 10. And that's how fights happen. Because 2 10s, if you're a 10, you might need to say, let's say they're a 10 and you're currently a 4, you might say, this is never going to work. You might need to raise your number. But it may not be natural or easy for you to get up to an 8 or a 9. You might need to say, well, I'm a 4, I need to be a 6 or a 7. Imagine you're in a situation, you meet somebody and you're an 8, and they're a 1 or a 2. They're not bad people, they're the same as you and I. All this stuff I talk about, they're good people. They're the same as you and I. It just so happens that at that moment, they're a 1 or a 2. But you want to get the best out of that person. There's no point if they're a 2, you stepping down and saying, well, I'm an 8, I'm going to be a 2. 2s don't work either, you don't want to be a 2. What you want to do is if you're let's say an 8 or a 9 or a 10, and that person's a really low number, you want to say, well, how can I bring myself a little bit lower so I can tease that person out, so we can sort of bridge the gap. So if you're an 8 or a 9 or a 10, you might say, well, they're a 2, so maybe I'm an 8, maybe I could go down to a 5. And you hold the number 5. As you do that, the relationship, the communication dialogue starts to change. They start to move up from a 2, just by nature of who you are and where you are. And they find themselves becoming a 3, maybe a 4. You see what I mean? This stuff works, it truly works. It might sound crazy to you, but it's an incredible phenomenon. You have the confidence. Don't let anybody ever tell you you don't have the confidence. Don't ever go on a confidence building training course for a year or a week or whatever. You have that gift, it's a simple tool, just by using that. Hold that number in your mind, it works every time. Try it. Try it when you go out here, right? And you get in your car and you're driving home, all the way home. Don't do it all round, but just for 10 minutes. Try driving as a 2. See how many horns you get. Try it. When you're having a problem with your partner, because we have disagreements from time to time, and that person's being an 8, 9, and 10, and you're an 8, 9, 10. Think about that. When they're having a bad day and they come home and they're a 2 and you're still an 8, think about that. Think about these things. You can have any problem because it's all there. That's the gift. It's an amazing gift. We didn't have to pay for it. It's there from the moment we were born. Grab a seat.